going to set it aside for a little while as we take our little stroll down all the shit that happened this week. Marvel is going to be leaving Diamond and going to some other company.
Penguin Books.
They're going to Penguin.
Penguin Random House.
Penguin, who they're a little bit controversial. I know that they pulled Jordan Peterson's book from publication.
Who the hell's that?
Why? That seems like a fucking money machine that they're taking away.
Right?
It's really stupid, and
aren't they trying to sell books?
like if that's Jordan Peterson's a fucking genius, man. He's brilliant. You're not going to win the war of ideas by hiding ideas from people. You're going to win the war of ideas by having better ideas than people, putting them all on the table, and then the ones that are the best are the ones that went out. The biggest crime in history, other than the assassination of Jesus, was the burning of the Library of Alexandria. Can't hide.
Huh? Well, you said Jordan Peterson, so that got Josh off the toilet real quick.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, I agree with most of what he has to say. There are a few things that I take issue with.
Like anybody.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's a human just like everyone else. And his story is pretty incredible. So I don't know. It seems surprising that they'd pull his book, but how do you guys think Marvel's going to be handled? I heard it's going to happen really quick, right? They're going to be...
So...
Their first releases are going to be in May?
No. So the first that you can order for releases in May. They're the first week that they are actually going to be doing the distribution is for product coming out October 1st and on. But some stuff like graphic novels they solicit for them like more than 2 months out. Like a regular comic is 2 months out for initial solicitations. Some graphic novels go out 3, 4, sometimes 5 months, depending on what it is. So the first initial order solicitations is the May date that you were mentioning.
Okay,
but
I see.
The first product that they're going to be shipping out is in October, and they're only distributing to direct market. They're not distributing to like Walmarts and newsstand copies and bookstores and stuff like that, because bookstores have a return policy. You have to have a return policy in that. And they won't, they can't, because of the deal that they made with DC, they can't allow for, newsstand copies for returnability to come back. Only DC has that ability for a comic book company. It's part of the deal that DC made with Penguin Random House is that no other comic book company, if the publisher came to them to do distribution, they can't get a better deal, or they can't be equal or better than what DC has in play. DC has full returnability on theirs, and because of that, nobody else can have full returnability. So that's
why.
why.
If you're at your shop and you got a whole bunch of, like, let's say $8 DC books, and you can't sell them all, you can return them.
So
you take off the cover and you send them in.
Yeah, you rip off the cover, you strip the cover, and you send the covers back as proof that you stripped the covers. And that's only for the not the direct market is comic book retailers. So newsstand, so bookstores, Walmart, Target, all those guys, grocery stores, 7-Elevens, all those guys, they order and they can have full returnability for their DC titles. They strip them, they send the things back, they get credited.
Are there comics in 7-Eleven again, then?
They're starting to do that now because they're starting to reintroduce that back in, but because DC made that deal as part of their contract, when Marvel is doing it now, Marvel can't do that. So it's gonna cause like the newsstand copies to not get ordered as much. So DC is going to be more prominent than Marvel is if one of those stores decide to carry newsstand copies. So they can do it, but they won't be able to get the returnability that they get with everything else that Random House and Penguin publishes. So that's why I think Marvel is still sticking with Diamond, because Diamond is going to allow for returnability, whereas Random House won't. When you order it, that's it. You can't send it back. With Diamond, if you order it and you want to send stuff back and they allow for that, you can.
So you'd still be able to order from Diamond if you want also.
Yes, and the my understanding is that the percentages are exactly the same. So if you order through Random House and you order through Diamond, the percentages are exactly the same discount that you're going to get. I think it's like 50% or 55% is what you get. The difference is that you get free shipping with Random House. You don't get the free shipping and freight with Diamond. Even when you can go pick up from their centralized hubs, and some states have that and some cities have that, you still are charged a nominal freight fee, but it's nothing than what you would spend if you had to have all of that shipment sent to your location, which some stores have to do that. It's just, the only caveat is that you get free shipping with Random House, but you can't return anything when you order it. With Diamond, you have to pay shipping, but you have the ability for returnability on some titles.
So you just order the things you want to return, or you take your gambles with Diamond?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my thing is that I want to see how they handle the shipping, because right now nobody really, unless you're out of the country, nobody knows how they're going to handle comic book shipping. They can handle book shipping because that's what they've been doing in distribution. And I've heard some horror stories just as bad with Random House as I have with Diamond about the, mess ups and damaged issues and things like that. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the shipping on, and how they handle damages and things like that. Because it's, with Diamond, you kind of know what you're going to get. It's the devil you know. Whereas with these guys, you're not sure exactly how they're going to handle it. Do they care? How easy is it going to be for ordering? How easy is it going to be? With anything with new. I mean, everybody said the same thing about Lunar, and when DC went to a different distributor, they said the same thing. Now I have to go to another place. I have to do this. How's this going to happen? And in my experience, Lunar worked very well. So, and they're going to be the sole distributor of DC now. The other distributor is pulling out after, I think, June. They're no longer going to be distributing DC now. DC is solely going to be done through Lunar. But it's interesting. You're going to hear a bunch of naysayers. Like I said, the same thing happened when DC split. What's interesting is that I've heard some big names attached to the purchasing of DC. So if that happens and the purchasers, because it's Kirkman and Jeppy, I think, are the two that are looking to public or buy DC. If they do it, they're going to bring DC back to Diamond because they have a good relationship. Both of those guys have good relationships with Diamond. So it'll be interesting to see if it gets flipped and what happens after that. There's a lot of stuff going on with the distribution of things.
I'm curious what you think is going to happen with Diamond once they've lost completely both Marvel and DC. How is that going to affect them?
I don't think it's going to affect them. I mean, obviously they're going to take a hit. One, they're not losing Marvel per se. They're still retaining some of the Marvel, so that they're going to take a hit, but I think they'll be able to streamline stuff. My concern is the small press publishers, because, DC and Marvel held up the vast majority of the distribution for the small. So the small press guys could still get their stuff done at a nominal fee. With this going, I can see where some of the small press guys might go to self-publishing and self-distribution. You're going to find them selling their stuff, like Aftershock and Black Mask, and not necessarily Boom or Dark Horse or IDW, because they're in that middle. They're not quite the big 3 or 2 or whatever you want to call it, but they're more than some of these other guys. And I have a feeling some of these other guys are going to end up having, they're just going to self-publish. They're going to sell it through their websites. They're going to find other avenues. They're going to sell it conventions. They're going to do they're going to do their own direct market. And a lot of them have the infrastructure already to do that kind of thing, because that's how they started. They started doing their own self-publishing stuff, and now they grew to the point where it was beyond them to do it. So they decided to go through Diamond because it was also convenient, and the catalog and stuff like that. But we'll see.
Thanks for checking out this clip from the Collection Connection Talking live stream. If you want to see the full show, come back to this channel, youtube.com/Collection Connection, and watch us stream live at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time every Monday, where you can leave comments and chat with us, and we will actually read your comments on the show. And of course, please like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications.